Oh my gosh, guys. We're getting closer to the end, man. The mark of the beast is coming faster do you think. And why am I saying this? Well, as you can see by the title and thumbnail, Apple just introduced a digital ID, bro, which is all linked to the mark of the beast, which I'll get into that later, what it is and all that stuff. And Mark the Messenger talked about it in his digital ID video. I talked about it in my digital ID video. How it's gonna come to the US eventually, and it's coming to the US, bro. We see it right here. Apple is introducing digital IDs, bro. So I want to read this Instagram picture that I saw on the post. It says, Apple launches digital ID, allowing users to add passport info to Apple Wallet. And I want to read the post that goes with it. So it says, Apple has introduced digital ID, a new feature that lets users create a digital version of their US passport ID in Apple Wallet and present it securely. The feature is launching in beta and will be first accepted at TSA checkpoints in more than 250 US airports for identity verification during domestic travel. Digital ID gives users another way to verify their identity, even if they don't have a real ID, compliant license, or state ID. It does not replace a physical passport and cannot be used for international travel. Apple says digital ID will expand in the future, allowing users to verify their identity or age at select businesses and apps and online. All digital ID data is encrypted and stored on the device, and Apple cannot see when, where, or how the ID is used. Face ID or Touch ID is required to present it, ensuring only the owner can access it. I don't know if I'm buying that. Let's keep it real. This is the US government. They're probably going to look into your stuff. Let's keep it real. Them saying, oh, they can't access it, only you can, and that Apple cannot see them, that's BS to me, 100%. Come on. This is the US government. They constantly spy on you. They constantly look in your stuff. Don't believe this crap. Now I want to read the last post I found. It says Apple rolls out digital ID for iPhone users, add US passports to wallet for TSA checkpoints in 12 states. Requires iPhone 11 or later and latest iOS. Works at 250 plus airports for domestic travel. Physical ID still needed for international borders. Data is encrypted and protected by Face ID or Touch ID. That's BS. The reason why I said that is because I want to show that it's in 12 states and that it requires an iPhone 11 or more. We're getting closer to the end, guys. The mark of the beast is coming. This is all predictive programming to slowly get people to accept it. Satan, he's not going to push it out right away. He's going to brainwash people to accept it. With the digital ID, we saw it in the UK where you can't work a job without it. We see it in China, Canada, and other places of the world. And in China, if you don't comply to it, if you speak out against the truth, then you're limited, you get blackballed, you're limited to what you can do in society. This one Chinese reporter said he couldn't send his kids to a private school. He was banned from traveling. In this part of the video, I'll put it up on the screen. It even says in the 2 Esdras chapter 15 verse 17, this is the book of Apocrypha and the lost book in the Bible. It talks about you won't be able to go to another city in the last days, which we're seeing this right now, that you can't travel without it. If you're not complying to it, you won't be able to travel, to go anywhere. And like I said, this is all programming for the mark of the beast. This is not the mark of the beast, but this is like pre-steps to the mark of the beast. You're not able to travel. It wouldn't surprise me if soon they announce that you can't work a job. You can't do anything without the digital ID at this point. By the way it's looking, by the way the UK says you can't work a job, it wouldn't surprise me soon, in the near future, it's going to be the same thing in the United States and all over the world. So let me talk about what the mark of the beast is. The mark of the beast is a chip in your right hand or in your forehead. You can't buy or sell. You can't do anything without it. you'd be blackballed, you'd be outcasted in society, just like in 2020. 2020 was the pre-test, the majority of people failed, they complied to it. So it's going to be the same thing with the mark of the beast. People are not going to resist. Most people are going to cave in. And if you get that mark of the beast, you're worshiping Satan, and you're going to burn in hell forever. So do not get it, bro. And there's no excuse saying, I want to provide for my family, I want to keep my job, this and that, blah, 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 blah. But it says in Matthew chapter 6, verse 26, that God feeds the birds, even though they don't work a job, they don't store food in the refrigerator, they don't worry about food. So of course God is going to provide for us. We're more valuable and more worthy than the birds. That's where your faith comes in. So if you comply, then that's your fault because you lack faith. You didn't trust God to provide for you. You let people talk you into it. And like I said, this is going to get slowly pushed out to program people to accept it. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me as soon if I see celebrities pushing this out. This digital ID stuff. Because they sold their soul to Satan, they got to do the will of Satan. Let's pretend like celebrities, politicians, whoever sold their soul, who has to push it out. Because that's their job. Their job is to lead people to hell, to the lake of fire. That's where they're going. Misery loves company. And you want to know another predictive programming that the mark of the beast is coming? Look at the credit cards. You have a chip on it, on the edge of it, a gray chip. That's another predictive programming of mark of the beast. And in the NBA bubble, I don't know if you guys remember this, if you're a basketball fan, back in 2020, I remember in JaVale McGee's vlog, one of the videos, he like scanned the wristband on the door, whatever, to open the door. And they were doing that all over the place to get access. It's the same thing. Predictive programming, bro. They literally showed us before it happens. Next up, I want to react to a video that I found, so let me get into it.
So Apple just launched their digital ID. Is this the mark of the beast?
Yes.
A lot of people say the mark of the beast is 666. Do you believe that? Well,
Yes.
this is kind of connected to Apple launching their digital ID because the Apple first computer sold for $666.66.
That's actually
this
true.
This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. When we signed up for these social media apps, how many people read the contract? So many people just hit the check and go. Let's go a little deeper. If you ever go on social media and scroll and scroll and scroll, you will notice we can't tell the difference from fake or real. Artificial intelligence is so real. And this is connected to your digital ID. When we signed up for these apps, we sold our natural rights. We are really going into an all digital world. This is connected to Skynet, which was activated in 2024. Pretty soon, they're gonna have a social media credit score system, face recognition, voice recognition. But how about this? What if they don't like you on social media? What if they can take your face and put it on artificial intelligence, make you do a crime on the internet, and everyone believe you did it? This is what they are really trying to do with all of us. They can actually put you in digital prison. A lot of people don't know this, but when 2019 took place and they put us under quarantine, they really changed everything about us. The world really ended and we are giving birth to a new reality, the digital world. How about we take this a little deeper? Remember, everything is dealing with our emotions and our energy. Pretty soon, we will not need cell phones or laptops because they are trying to turn us into the new cell phone. That's why we need our cell phones for everything. The word cell is connected to a battery cell or a prison cell. We live in a negative and positive reality, or the battery system. Once you understand the language, everything will make more sense. Just spell the word phone. P-H-O-N-E. pH, potential hydrogen, and 1. Our pH level went all the way to 1. Negative, positive. Once your level go to 1, game over.
What he said was facts, bro. Yeah, artificial intelligence, AI, is gonna get super crazy, bro. Just give it a few years and it's gonna be so perfected and just so spot on, picture perfect, you won't be able to tell what's real or fake. And this is all Satan's offspring. This is Satan's Nephilim, fallen angels, AI. I made videos on it, talking about it, how it's the Nephilims. Just like back in the days of Noah, they were Nephilims, giants back then, so God had to flood the earth. Because of the wickedness, they're against the humans. The same thing, nothing new under the sun. This time it's with AI robots. World War III is it's gonna be against robots and humans. And how were the Nephilims created? When fallen angels came down to the earth and were having sex with human women to create Nephilims, giants. So it started with Satan's corruptible seed. Same thing with AI. This is Satan's corruptible seed. He wants to replace the image of God. He wants to get rid of humans. There's a reason why there's a depopulation agenda. People not wanting to have kids anymore. It's because Satan, he's a copycat. He's jealous of God. He wants to replace humans with robots. He hates God's image, so he wants to replace it with his. And what he said about when we accepted TOS, we're selling our natural rights, that's actually true. I believe him on that one. And he also said that there's going to be social media credit scores, which is true. I could see that happening as well. And there'll be social credit scores in general. Mark the Messenger talking about it in the Mark the Beast video. He talked about it 2 years ago. And basically, if you don't know what a social credit score, if you comply to society, if you comply to the demonic agenda, then you rank up. But if you do not comply, then you're limited in society. You can't access certain things. You can't do certain things. Just like I talked about with that one China reporter where he was limited. He was banned from traveling. He couldn't get a mortgage. He couldn't get a loan. He couldn't send his kids to private school. That's going to happen to us true speakers, the elect chosen ones, or just people in general who speak out against the truth. They're going to silence us. They're going to limit us. We're going to be limited in society. But don't worry, because God will provide for you. If you have faith, you have nothing to worry about, bro. So I could definitely see that happening with social credit scores and social media as well. And what he talked about when he said people can use AI to frame you, to make you look like, to frame you to look like you did a crime but you didn't do anything. I remember Mark the Messenger talked about it in his AI Sora video. He was reacting to certain videos. We all know the agenda behind it. The agenda is that they're going to frame us, the righteous people, the people who are on the narrow path, or the people in general who are resisting this or not complying. They're going to use this to frame us. They could put our face on the AI to make us look like we said something or did something illegal, did a legal act or something, even though we didn't do anything. And people are going to believe it because we live in an idiocracy. We live in a dumbed down society where people have no discernment. People believe everything. Just like the Bible says, the simple-minded believe everything, but the wise person does his research to look up things, to see if it's true or not. And also with them framing you on the AI, let's pretend if the people who sold their soul to Satan, if they don't want to push it out, if they don't comply to it, they can also frame them as well. If they want to leave darkness behind, if they want to give their life to Christ instead of working for the devil, they can also frame them as well to make them look bad. And also I made a digital ID prediction, and I remember Mark the Messenger, he talked about in his video how in order for them to push us out, he said it's going to be like a false flag event just like 2020 that causes fear and gets people to comply. I said that it wouldn't surprise me if that false event is the grid shutting off, which will happen. Mark the Messenger made a video on that. It's going to happen on the Friday because that's when the stock market closes. We don't know. I don't know when yet. We don't know when. And there's a reason why there's been all these phone outages, all these power outages. It's all a test before the grid actually shuts off. And who knows how long it can shut off for. Maybe a few days, weeks, or maybe it can never return again. We don't know. But it wouldn't surprise me if they bring it back on. If they were to shut the grid off and then bring it back on, but the only way you can access the internet now is with the digital ID. And if you don't comply to it, you either can't access the internet or you're limited per day. Let's pretend an hour a day, 30 minutes a day. And him saying that they're trying to make us new cell phones, I believe that because Elon Musk is like, he wants to come out with the chip, a Neuralink chip in your forehead. And the Mark of the Beast also, we all know. Well, not him, but the Mark of the Beast, the chip in your right hand on your forehead. You can store all your wallet, your information, all that stuff in your right hand or on your forehead. And especially the Neuralink chip. I remember seeing a video from Mark the Messenger, how I remember it was like a commercial, this girl in the hospital room, in the hospital bed, where she was like, she had her iPad or phone or something. She was like, she was typing in something with her mind. She was like saying it, reading it in her mind, saying it in her mind like a sentence, and then it just searched it up on the device. So that's how I could see how they're trying to make us the new cell phone or the new devices. And also Mark the Messenger talking about, I remember reacting to the short from Mark the Messenger, talking about how the video's like in a store, in that it looks like the Frozen section is like glasses. Someone has glasses, like digital glasses, and you can see their credit score, their information. I'll put it up on the screen to show you what I'm talking about. Well, that's gonna do for this video. I hope this video wakes you up. We're getting closer to the end, guys. This is time to get right with God and Jesus, because you can't go to the Father except through the Son, through a personal relationship, not religion. And be set apart, be holy, and repent of your sins before it's too late. The mark of the beast is coming. It's coming faster than you think, because God is speeding up the times in the end days. Like it says in Matthew chapter 24, verse 22. Christ is coming back soon to destroy all the wicked, ungodly, and sinners, and only the elect chosen ones are going to be saved. Many are called, few are chosen. So this is your time to become an elect chosen one, get right with God, to be saved, because I want to see you get saved, man. Time to build up your faith. There's no excuse, like I said, with the mark of the beast, God will provide for you. With this digital ID stuff, God will provide for you. And do not comply to this stuff. Please wake up to the deception. This stuff is linked to the mark of the beast. It's not the mark. We're getting steps closer to the mark of the beast. So do not comply to it, resist it. This stuff is not going to help you at all. And like I said, the devil disguised himself as an angel of light, so it's going to appear as convenient, very helpful for your everyday life. But at the root core of it is darkness. So please look at the root core of it. Please look at the bigger picture. Ask God to show you the deception so you don't fall for it. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.